Baruch is part of the City University system of New York. We're located in New York City, actually in Gramercy Park section of Manhattan. We take up about 5 city blocks, and it's a very compact campus. We have 17,000 students only spread out only over a few blocks. One of the first buildings that we're rolling out Ruckus into is our Newman Vertical Campus, which is a combination of classrooms. There are 180 smart classrooms in them. There are auditoriums. It has our fitness center, our gymnasium, and it takes up 14 floors above ground and 3 floors below. We are playing in a very competitive pool of students. We're competing with much wealthier institutions to attract students and to retain them. When students and their parents come to campus, IT resources are very high on their list in differentiating where they want to go. And for us, wireless was an extremely important asset in competing for students. Our students come to campus expecting that we're going to provide them with reliable access, but also to support all of the different devices and the need for bandwidth that they have. We were faced with a number of problems. One was because we had not yet rolled out sufficient wireless coverage for the campus, and because the wireless technology that we were using was not adequate to meet the rapidly growing needs of our students and the curriculum. Students were poaching off wireless access in the vicinity. Remember, we're in the heart of Manhattan. They were also occasionally, in violation of our policies, of course, bringing in wireless access points of their own to try to solve the problem. We use a great deal of streaming multimedia in our courses. The demand from all of this has increased tremendously, and we just weren't prepared for it with the system that we were operating. When we decided to implement a next-generation wireless solution on campus, we formed a committee of half students and half members of the IT staff, and we drew up a set of requirements. Some we expected to be taken for granted by the vendors. For example, reliability, speed, dependability, being able to move seamlessly from one part of the campus to another without having to re-authenticate or reinitiate a session. Using that set of requirements, we then started to initiate discussions with the different vendors. And we brought aboard about 10 in the initial round. One of the reasons that we selected Ruckus was that they were able to demonstrate to us that we could take advantage of all of the features that they were offering, and it would not be either a drain on our staff and certainly wouldn't require any additional staff. What our students insisted on, no matter who we selected, was that performance would live up to the standards that we were promising and they were demanding. Ruckus was delivering wireless service far faster than our legacy wireless network. During the rollout, what we have already seen is that not only is it 10 times faster in terms of the wireless service that we've had before, but we've actually found it to be faster in many cases than the performance on our wired network. The discussions with the wireless vendors around the technology behind their products focused for the most part on solving problems that really weren't central to what was driving our needs here at the college. The technical solutions that they were describing to us, in many cases, were not new technologies. They were tinkering with some technologies that we had already experienced as part of our non-performing legacy network. It was more of a differentiating factor when we started to look at vendors who could ensure that the connection would get there in the first place. When it became time to make the final selection decision, Ruckus met that criterion. They were able to demonstrate to us that students would get connected to our wireless network the first time they tried and every time they tried. And the rollout that we've experienced so far has proved it for us. When we originally did a site survey prior to or leading up to the selection process, we identified a certain number of access points. What we discovered was that the access point that Ruckus uses will require a fewer number of access points, which will save us both in terms of the purchase of the access points and the cabling for those spaces. We knew that certain applications were going to be the ones that drove the demand. One of them is our social networking among our students. Every one of our students and faculty members will be able to, on the spot, initiate a video chat session with one another. We tested this last semester. Ruckus is going to enable us to be able to serve video chat services as an expected daily transaction among our 17,000 students and faculty. We make sure that we provide access to streaming video that faculty members produce. We go into many of the classrooms on campus and student presentations in order to develop their communication skills. They record them themselves in the classroom, and then they share them with one another, whether it's through our course management system, whether it's through web pages or blogs that we give them. And they're very active about using these. So it's not just a matter of pulling up static web pages for our students. It's their ability over the wireless network to create as part of their coursework. As the CIO, I look for a firm that can not only perform, but I can trust. Ruckus was the best choice.